of 9 young men was today paraded by the Lagos State Police Command for armed robbery and theft. The Lagos State Police Commissioner said the gang specializes in armed robbery and stealing exotic cars, which it then sells. Among the items recovered from the suspects are one Toyota Land Cruiser Prado Jeep alleged to have been stolen in Victoria Island, 2 AK-47 rifles and an immigration service uniform.
Came back again to Nigeria. Nothing was moving. I tried to convince some drivers, nobody. I now tell this my friends, I met them in class. I say, I'm not a car dealer. Me and my brother have a car stand in Cotonou. I was lying to them that we should try and snatch some car in this club and go and sell it in Benin Republic. They say, how are we going to do it? You say, those people that are drunk, when they are coming from club, they are drunk. We can fight them, attack them, and collect their vehicle from them. That's why so much courage, 5 of us. The first vehicle we collected Toyota Camry with Amanda Jeep, which will fight those people in VI, one club in VI. There's one, I forget this club name. Why not? So those people were coming out, they were drunk. He and his wife, I don't know what his girlfriend, his wife. 5 of us. When we were having bottle, now break the bottle. The lady was scared, started crying. Where's the key? Where's the key? We collected the key from them. That's how I moved to Benin Republic with it.
Early 2015. The federal government implemented the new tariff on importation of vehicles. And this new policy has led to a total increase in the cost of purchasing a vehicle in Nigeria.
I would rather go for a new than a Tokumbo car, but because the economy is not very conducive to the average Nigerian who want to make ends meet, so you see many of these people out of the 160 million going for things within their means. And going by that, many more people are unable to get mobile because they can't even afford, the so-called second-hand vehicle. And now the government is exposing such people to the purchase of new cars.
The government's plan to start vehicle assembly in the country will see manufacturers enjoy tax holidays and a 50% duty rebate for 5 years if they bring in completely knocked down parts to be assembled in Nigeria. Analysts say that the price of the Nigerian-built cars may have little or no difference with imported ones, as manufacturers will grapple with challenges like infrastructure, irregular power supply, lack of raw materials and skilled labor.
There's a leading indicator that shows that the price of cars will go up. And there's also an indicator that shows that part of the increased cost is going to be transferred to consumers, and part of that consumer increased cost will be passed on as final prices in other linked activity.
These cars on display at a busy road are strategically parked to attract buyers. Most of them are used and have been imported from Japan and Europe, a source of livelihood for many Nigerian car dealers. But that is likely to change after the government introduced higher duties of up to 35% for the merchandise. This is an effort to develop Nigeria's automotive industry and to promote the purchase of cars built in Nigeria.
This place is filled with vehicles and equipments. It's not used to be so. It wasn't so before. So before, like some of these vehicles that came about 2 weeks ago, all of them are here. We have not sold anyone. But before, it's as they are coming and they are coming in to sell. But because of the new rate, new duty rate, if the customers come, you tell them price, but the price has gone up tremendously. So if they come and tell them price, they walk away.
The import tax increase has brought about a lull in vehicle importation into Nigeria through the country's seaports, and as a result, prices increased.
Now, recognizing the negative effects car theft could have on the economy of Nigeria, CoTrac Nigeria is proud to champion the campaign to promote the most affordable vehicle tracking and recovery service in Nigeria.
Vehicle tracking is as old as GSM services in Nigeria. When we started, network was restricted to just Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. Those days when we had bulk devices stuck into people's cars, people saw it as American wonder, that from the comfort of the mobile phones via SMS at that point in time, they can send a simple string of command to the phone number of the device in their vehicle and they get a response of their vehicles. It was marvelous. And that was in 2005. But today, as I speak to you, vehicle tracking has grown beyond that. You're looking at a tracking service that gives you clear visibility of what your vehicle does every 30 seconds. You know, looking at the kind of lifestyles that we have in this country, people who do businesses sometimes wish that they can sit with their drivers all day, but it's not possible. You can't be with your driver all the time. There are certain responsibilities you still have to do while you're at work. But the tracking services gives you the opportunity to virtually sit with your driver while he drives, right? And that's because from the comfort of your mobile phone or the internet-enabled laptops, you can be able to see what your driver does every 30 seconds. It takes the next turn, you know, he's overspeeding, you know, it goes the wrong direction. It goes the wrong direction where maybe you send him on an errand and it goes a different direction, you know. All these things are made possible using the satellite technology. So this is what we have done. This is what we started in 2005. We were the first in the northern region to start vehicle tracking. We were the third in Nigeria.
Since 2005, CoTrac has succeeded in providing satisfactory services to her clients, and this has kept us above competition. Our clientele span from individuals to businesses, international organizations, and government agencies.
Vehicle tracking for us is something we hold dearly. We always like to equate ourselves with people in the medical field. You know, we always see ourselves as lifesavers as well. In as much as we are protecting the vehicle, we're more like guarding, using technology to guard vehicles. But on the flip side, there are certain other services that vehicle owners stand to gain besides your vehicle gets stolen. There are people who have misplaced or whose vehicles were stolen with their international passports or vital documents in such vehicles. There are people whose kids were kidnapped from their own vehicle. You know, so at that point in time, you're not just talking about the safety of the car, but you're also looking at the safety of the content of passengers in that car. So the tracking services allows us, the tracking company, be able to pinpoint where this vehicle is and probably make predictions on where that vehicle is going to. And in partnership with law enforcement agencies, we're able to recover safe and sound. So because life is involved, we make sure that our processes are tight-proof. We're not just after being able to recover stolen vehicle. We're also interested in catching people who have done this. You know the implication? If you do not catch them, you have exposed another person to the same risk. So for us, from when you are making a sales inquiry to you using the service, we're always very careful about how you feel about such a service. And that's why today, if you find any of our flyers anywhere, our call numbers, that's sales inquiry numbers, are toll free. Which means that you're calling us and we're paying your bills for such a call. From any network, irrespective of any network in Nigeria, speaking to us free of charge. And that's, we believe that you finding our number or picking up a flyer and wanting to call is because there's something there to you that you want to solve. A problem, a challenge that is there to you that you want to solve. And because we're serious-minded people, we don't need to allow you probably spend money in getting that kind of service from us. So our toll free lines are free. You walk in here, in any of our offices, even the environment even tells you the kind of service you're going to get as soon as you sign up with us and all. And we run a toll-free control center, which means that if your vehicle gets stolen, you can get to call us in the toll-free line, and you're sure that there are agents who are on duty round the clock, 247, 24 hours a day. So we'll be able to, you know, right there, receive your emergency calls and probably respond to it. So, and in as much as devices that we use are not locally manufactured in Nigeria, but the good thing about it is that we have an influence of the manufacturing of the devices we use.
No matter how it goes, if for example, if this is highest, can we use just
yes, you cannot. No problem.
That is
highest to use.
No problem.
Yes, it's fine.
So it means maybe we fund the highest and the lowest, and we get a square.
We use this for calculation.
It's
verified. We know what we expect as far as service is concerned. And that is why we have, in the last 10 years, been able to document what is required of this market for our customers to be able to enjoy good service. We prefer to say that what we are installing in your car isn't a device, it's a chip, because it's that time. And that's why we believe that installations done properly, it will be difficult for an armed robber to be able to detect whether the device is faulty and probably take it away. And we guarantee that when you bring in a vehicle here for installation, your vehicle will, the installation will be done professionals. So you don't have occurrences of probably malfunctions or interferences with the way the electrical system functions in the vehicle. It doesn't happen with us nowadays. And we have this trust thing around the team. Everybody who works in the company has a sense of belonging. So because of that, the fear of somebody probably taking advantage of vital information within his or her own control is very limited. Another very vital thing about our services is we listen to our customers. We have had cases of where people have walked up to us and say, is it possible that I could do this with your tracker? And we say to them, give us 2 weeks. And most times we've come out very successful.
Contrary to the belief that vehicle tracking services are meant for people who drive expensive vehicles, analysis has shown otherwise.
Vehicle tracking has gone beyond being a luxury. Vehicle tracking is no longer a service that is open to people who drive very expensive cars, because we have realized that the people who are worst hit as far as car theft is concerned in Nigeria are people who drive those low-income vehicles, those average vehicles you can buy between 600 and 1 million naira, 600,000 and 1 million naira. These are people who have been saving all their lives to at least drive a car. And you know how it feels? That when they now buy this vehicle, one day they wake up in the morning and the vehicle is no longer in front of the compound where they parked it, is heartbreaking. So what we have done now to give back to society is to come up with a very, very realistic policy that will make it possible for average income earners to be able to afford this technology, because they also have to protect their assets. In fact, they are the people whose assets are most valuable. You know why? The rich person out there whose vehicle gets stolen already has an insurance. And even if he doesn't, the vehicle gets stolen in the morning, he replaces it in the evening. But the average person there, it's a big challenge. And you know the way our country, Nigeria, is, if you're not mobile, you end up spending more in trying to handle your operations. So that's why we're doing this with our media partners and other partners to be able to introduce the most affordable vehicle tracking service in Nigeria. And we're saying that with 31,500, that person who couldn't afford a 75,000 naira tracking service or 55,000 naira tracking service will be able to afford this. And we're also looking at it to say, this class of people, their priority is, my vehicle has been stolen, please find it for me. In addition to that, that is why we also went ahead to have a partnership with our telecom partners, an arrangement with telecom partners, such that if these vehicles leave the shores of this country, we will be able to find it in 16 countries in Africa. Because we have realized that with the porous borders that we have in this country, most stolen vehicles get taken out of this country. And another thing we have also found out is, if you think your vehicle is already old and no one will be interested or attracted to stealing it, I want to remind you that somebody somewhere is saving money to be able to acquire that old vehicle that is old to you, that probably will be new to him. And you and I know what is currently happening as far as the tariff is concerned. The dollar isn't very steady. There's been an increase in importation, the cost of tariff and importation of vehicles into this country. So it means that naturally the cost of a new vehicle has gone up. right? So because it's too expensive and you do not have the income level in Nigeria is not that buoyant, you still have a demand for that low cost vehicle than a new vehicle. So what happens in the long run? We'll now have a challenge. We'll begin to have local demand for stolen vehicles. But because this class of people couldn't afford this vehicle tracking service, the high possibilities their vehicles will be more vulnerable to be stolen. They steal a vehicle in the east, they take it to the north. They steal a vehicle in the north, they take it to the west. And this same class of people might not have the resources and logistics to leave the north and probably find or look for the vehicle in the south. Hence the thing. The customers asked me, who is your biggest competition? And I got stopped at that point. And he said to me, religion. The person out there believes that his or her car is protected by God. I am a true believer. I'm a true believer. I believe in God. And I believe that God protects each and every one of us. Right? But I also believe that there are certain responsibilities that we should play on our own part to keep ourselves safe. You know? So, and technology, this kind of technology is not occultic that should contradict religion or beliefs. These things are to complement our beliefs and make it convenient for us to be able to do so many other things. Right? So some people believe that the sticker on their car is enough protection already. I am not against that. But I'm saying that technologies like this can actually help to avert evil. Stop evil people from hurting innocent people. That's just what this is about. So that misconception about no need, my car is covered, my God. Yes, it's covered. But technology also has its role to also complement. God made technology as well. And God is using us through technology to provide and service to people and likewise stop evil from happening to His children.
Yeah, so
then the second misconception that people also have about this is interference. They sincerely believe that technologies that like this would have interferences with the car and electronic system. Like I said earlier, for us, maybe for some other people, but we're veterans in this industry. We've done this for 10 years and counting. So we've learned the hard way. And all those things that we have learned are now experiences for us. So we're better people in this trade. So we're reassuring our customers that for no reason will this technology have any interference with the electronic system of such a vehicle, right? The third thing people think as a misconception is violation of privacy, for God's sake. We have thousands of cars under our watch. We wouldn't single out a particular customer to be able to check what the customer is doing or not. Besides that, this is a professional service and the privacy of our customers is key. We can only have access to your vehicle when you have reported it stolen. And that is what you have paid money for. Assuming you buy a car of 6 million, for instance, or probably a car of 600,000 naira, and you track your car for 31,500, that's the smartest thing you should do. It's like you sharing your liability with someone else, or probably even transferring your liability to someone else. Because for us, in the last 3 years, what we have started doing is we have realized that it's not just about recovering the stolen vehicle. Let's also try to take this crime out of our communities, and we're doing everything possible to apprehend these people. Some other people don't know what price this service goes for. Once a year vehicle tracking, it's expensive. But that's why we're making this public. That for 31,500, you're in control, and you're sure that if it's stolen, we'll find it. Then lastly, people have this misconception about renewal of services. Someone asks you, do you pay renewals for your own tracking service? The answer is yes. I'd like to use the opportunity to clarify that actually. These things are machines. Like I said earlier in the course of our talks, and I said, if your vehicle expires and is not in active service, there are high possibilities that you have interference with your electronic system. Maybe that's the reason why certain customers have confirmed their fears, or probably say things like there are interferences that this has with their vehicle. Maybe because they signed up for services but they don't pay renewals. This is a device in your vehicle. After a while, you might probably just forget that you have a device in your vehicle. If you do not have a professional company that looks after such a device for you, or who watches the activities of such device in your vehicle, the high possibility that vehicle will go redundant, that device will go redundant. And when you need it to serve you, it wouldn't be there to serve you anymore. You and I know that these devices use SIM cards on them. And these SIM cards, like a regular SIM card in your mobile phone, has validity. If you do not load airtime, or there isn't communication between the device and the servers of the telecom company, there's going to be a disconnection. And once that disconnection happens, two things will play. One is you will cease to have communication with that vehicle, especially during emergency. Secondly, interferences will come up. Because if the device is not constantly communicating to any server, then you're going to have a challenge. Because if there are updates that device is entitled to, it wouldn't get such an update because there's no connection with any server. And that is why we discourage services rendered by other service providers where they will say to you it's a one-off solution. You cannot provide security to yourself. You will need a company to provide that back-end service and support to you. And that's why ours goes for 31,500. If you do your installation today, for instance, by this time next year, you pay as little as 6,000-7,000 naira for the whole year. If you do the maths and divide it by 12, you should know how much that is. There are other bills that you pay that might not even be relevant to your safety, that you pay way more than that.
To foster the success of this campaign, CoTrac enjoys a huge partnership with major media promoters in Nigeria, allowing the message of the campaign reach more people at the grassroots.